Oh yeah. 2024 is knocking on your door. You need to get more in 2024. And you need to go more and get more in 2024. We're going to be starting here in just about 2 minutes. About 2 minutes. We're going to go ahead and get started. This is just the preview for what we're about to, for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the beginning. The beginning. And the end and the end of something else, but it's going to be the beginning. I think that's what we'll call it. That's the theme, the beginning. Now, the reason why I couldn't think of a title, I could not think of a title, but we'll get into that in just a moment. We're just waiting for people to get on here, and we're about to get on it, y'all. I already hear the gunfire and the fireworks. I'm sure many of y'all already hear that outside. You know, don't worry. You know, just stay your behind in the house. Don't be going out there acting foolish and crazy, okay? All right. Last night of 2023. And don't worry, my religious folks out there, we ain't praying to Janice. Oh my goodness. No, we ain't acknowledging Janice. There's some good history behind this day, and we're going to talk about it in a little bit. But right now, we're just waiting for people to get on here, few more people, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Yeah, what, yeah, yeah, here we go, Willie Rivers in the house, come on. If you want me to shout out your name, put your name in the chat. Yeah, yeah. We'll do that again. All right, one more minute. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Y'all ready to go? 2024? Y'all ready to go? Y'all ready to go? You just still sitting, waiting. All right, 30 seconds. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey, Kim Reed's in the house. What's up, sis? Ava's in the house. What's up? Hey. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Come on, you gotta bounce now. Yeah. Come on. You gotta get in your car. We're driving to 2024, y'all. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Shift that gear. Come on. Come on, let's go. Team Truth in the house here. Come on. We're almost there. Yeah. Hey, come on. Now you gotta slow it down. Yeah. Hey family, how you doing? Welcome to another broadcast, which I believe is going to be our final broadcast for 2023, because I don't anticipate doing anything else after this in a few hours, because we as always got a lot of work to do. And we're going to be focused on that, getting final preparations for tomorrow. That thing hit me in the back. Anyway, no. Final preparations for tomorrow. We've been pumping that up. We are so looking forward to that. And we'll tell you about it in just a few minutes. But in the meantime, for those that are here, welcome family to another broadcast. And we appreciate you guys all joining us this wonderful evening. And as I said earlier, you probably already hear, depending on where you live, you probably already hear the fireworks and, you know, all the other stuff that goes on depending on where you live. And it's funny because this community, well, where we live, it's typically very, very quiet. I mean, you can't hear nothing. You can almost hear your heartbeat when you go outside. That's how quiet it is. I'm like, dang, what do people do out here? So, but it's really generally quiet, but they love their fireworks, y'all. I don't know about y'all. I'm sure many of you seen it too, depending on where you live. You know, in the grocery store parking lots, you know, they got fireworks. They just load up, depending if it's legal where you are. You know, like some states, you know, they do not, you know, they don't sell it, you know, and other states they do. And I remember growing up hearing you know, when people would have those M80s, some of your brothers, you remember, you know, maybe you remember back in the day growing up, the M80s, when the M80s was like a quarter stick of dynamite. I mean, I just remember never coming close to that joint. I would never touch those things. Now, the most fireworks I would put, it would be the small little ones that look like a cig of weed. You know, the little ones that look like a weed, look like a little cigarette. That's about as much as I would play with. And, you know, and that's it. You know, that and bottle rockets. Bottle rockets, someone taught me why they do that. They taught me what you do is you get yourself a pipe and then you tape the bottom part of it, put your bottle rocket in it, you light it up, put it in there, and then you can shoot it like a bazooka. And yes, I was doing that. I was one of those, you know, doing that. Fun times. But, you know, like I said, again, no M80s and all that other stuff. No. And they were expensive. Them joints were expensive, man. Now, for my family on the East Coast, which is about, what, 729, 723, 823. It's 923 your time. And we ain't going to be here. We ain't doing no midnight thing. I thought I was going to do like a midnight countdown. I ain't doing that. You know, that's up to you. You know, you count down on your own. I'm going to be counting 1 and 2. Eyelid 1 and eyelid 2. Okay, how about that? But anyway, you know, for the East Coast family, do you remember back in the day a place called South of the Border? This is in Dillon. I want to say Dillon, South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. And if you were traveling down south, if you ever traveled down south, you know, you would see the signs, especially if you was going to Florida or whatever. Anybody that would drive to Florida or whatever for, you know, the summer or whatever, you know, you would see the signs. And I don't know. I want to say that it's been a minute since I've been on 95, that part of 95. It's been a long minute. Maybe some of y'all can kind of let me know, give me the update. But the last time I was on that part of Interstate 95, I didn't see as many signs. But I tell you why, because it wouldn't fly this time. It wouldn't fly in this environment because, I mean, they had him talking, I burrito will be there or something like that. Every kind of like, you know, what would be considered racist today, every stereotype they would just, on each, it was like every 5 miles, they would have another billboard and another billboard and another billboard. But it was like, taco to me or something. It was like just the stuff, like I said, again, that would not fly today. It wouldn't fly today, you know, and then once you got to South of the Border, it was like, it was kind of like a family amusement center. It wasn't it wasn't like a full amusement park, but they had like, they did have some rides there, I think, and then they had like gift shops and all that. We never stopped through there. I was like, why y'all ain't stopping? We kept right on going, never stopped. And but anyway, I'm bringing it up because that was like one of the main places that people would go to get fireworks. And so I had friends who would go down south, and when they came back up, they would stop by and buy a bunch of them and then go to school, and then you meet them at their locker, and then you would buy your fireworks. That's what we did. But yeah, Darlene, you said number of fireworks at that place. Yes. And I got someone in RJ said where they are, it's loud. Okay. And I'm going to tell y'all, it's a reason why, as a people, I'm talking about black folks now, that we should acknowledge this day. Okay. And I know that we have some religious folks in the house that say, well, don't you know, brother, the true history of this, this holiday, it ties back, it goes all the way back to Babylon. And then from Babylon, it goes to the Greeks and the Romans and all of that. And it ties to the god Janus, where he's got two faces looking forward and one looking back. And then you got Rudolph Shiny New Year. If you ever seen that, the little baby represents Satan's friend that he went to school with, and, and all of this stuff. Now, is any of that true? Is there any validity to that? Yeah, I'm sure there's some of that. But see, we're not stupid, okay? You're not stupid, and your ancestors were not stupid. Your ancestors, they would look at Christmas much differently. Christmas wasn't a time to worship and to acknowledge the baby Jesus and to worship. Many of our ancestors used that time. It was a break for them from getting their tail whooped, okay? It was a break. And so it was a time of celebration for that reason and that reason only. Don't let these religious folks try to steal joy that was given to that your ancestors had, the little joy that they had, during these times. Don't let these religious people take that away from you, okay? So when I think of this time of the year, that's exactly what I'm thinking about, okay? I may not be engaging in all the other activities and stuff like that, but for me, my mind always goes back to those times. And then same thing with New Year's. I have a video. It's from the channel One Mike History. Some of y'all, he's got about 95 subscribers, so I'm sure many of y'all may have heard of him or seen his work. And I've seen some of his stuff, and I mean, the stuff I've seen is pretty good. And so we're going to actually look at together a video that he did recently talking about the new year and just giving some of the history. We won't look at all of it, but again, just for in case the YouTube gods and goddesses, they're like, oh, you can't do it, it's copyright. Well, let me be clear, it's not my work. We will tell people and encourage people to, if you haven't checked out that channel, One Mike History, check it out. If you subscribe to it, that's good. If not, that's up to you. But he did upload something I think is of note, and it's talking about the history of as it pertains to us of this was New Year's, and why it's something worth celebrating and worth acknowledging. And that's what we do, and that's what we've been doing. Well, man, I tell you, 2023 has been really something, huh? Well, tonight, it's not going to be a long broadcast. We're not going to go through every detail. And if you haven't figured out by now, I have no interest in spending time and going back and talking about, oh, Lord, oh, it's so bad out here. I tell you, it's judgment. Did you see what they're doing now? Did you see what China is doing right now? They're moving their soldiers now. This is all about the time. This is all lining up with the scripts and what the scriptures say. And oh, it's about time right now. I got a video I came across. I got it. I'm just, one day maybe I'll look at, we'll talk about it, whatever. But you got a whole batch of people out here right now. I shared it with the brothers just recently, literally, and I'm not making this up. I am not making this up. You literally have people who are seriously talking about relocating to piers, like ports, throughout the United States because they feel through revelation that the ships are coming to pick them up. And, I'm just saying that's the next phase of this, where people's minds are. They said the ships are coming, and where they're going, well, we don't know, but they're coming. And so you have grown people that are planning this, that are actually talking about this now. And I ain't talking about a small little group. It's quite significant people talking about this. So I'll tell you, this year has been one that has taken me, and I'm sure many of you, through. It's taken me through. I tell you, it's been quite something. And it's been quite revealing too. The things that both you and I have discovered together when it comes to taking a closer look at the Bible and the history behind it, the people who wrote the Bible, the people who translated the Bible and all of that. And much of that information, those videos we uploaded on our platform over on mybondtube.com. And that's our video streaming platform. It's not free in the sense of it's free, like nobody pays for it. Oh, somebody's got to pay for it. But it's free for the public, so you can go to it at any time. It's not going to require you to put a credit card in. And I purposely set it up of the fact that it's something that has, we want to make it available for everybody, to be able to access the information that our people need to access. Hold on, let me see what they're saying here. Hold on. Someone says something happened. Hold on. Chris. Oh, yes. Someone said, yeah, I heard that. Chris, I'm sorry. Straight Like That. This is an individual that used to come to this platform some time ago, and he's been kind of around, but I did hear that this individual passed. I don't know what he passed of, but he did pass away this year. So, our hearts go out definitely into the family, and we just send our deepest condolences and pray that that they will get the peace that they need during this time. And it was anytime you hear somebody passing like that, it's especially, it seemed unexpected. I never met, like a lot of you, I've never met you, but when you see names come up on a regular basis, you kind of adopt them as your own to a degree. And so, so definitely sorry to hear that. And, our deepest condolences to the family on that. But so thank you again for y'all posting that on there and letting people know. But anyway, so tonight what we're going to do is just really talk a little bit about the history. Like I said, it's not going to be really me talking. I'm just going to share a very short video. And we're going to, and then I'm going to start off. I'll go ahead and start off with this. We'll talk about, let me finish my thought, some of the other things, the highlights of this year. And for many of you, it's been quite a challenge following this platform. It's been quite a challenge because you have seen us go from, being heavily and deeply in the Hebrew world and then coming out of it. And that's been, for numbers of people, it's been quite a challenge to see that. And we've received many comments, some good and some not good, from individuals, they're into witchcraft. So if you're not with one thing, then you're automatically a witch. That's just something to kind of keep that in mind. If you ain't rolling with a particular religious group or religious movement, then you're automatically a witch. That's something to keep in mind. But yeah, we've gotten that one too. And what has been the motivating factor for us this year has been really, we want the truth, just period. We want the truth. And as I've said many times before, when we were in that Hebrew movement, the one thing well, there's good things that I can pull from that as well. But one thing in particular that I could definitely acknowledge and appreciate is the fact that it pushed me to continue to pursue truth. You understand? And so as I began to look closely at the information that not only was being passed to us, but stuff that I found myself repeating without going into the details, without reading the fine print, I say, hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. Wait a minute. There's a lot more to this. Wait a minute. And we start looking at a little bit deeper at this. If I had people say, don't get caught up in doing all that reading, because if you read too much, you're going to get lost. Huh? Yes, people would say that. You do too much research, you're going to get lost. How is that even possible? How's that even possible? No, we're learning to use our brains, and and it's okay to ask questions. And whatever, conclusion that you arrive to, that's you. But the facts never change. They don't. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what our pursuit has been. It really amped up this year, and then it continues on. And so that's the one thing I can point to and say that, man, it really was an eye opener for sure for a number of things. And we're just getting started. I'm telling you, there's a lot more. That's stuff that we've been told, that is, this is the truth and that's it. And coming to realize that it's not. It's been a range of emotions for me. Heartbreak to a degree, depression, and sometimes maybe a little deep depression, anger, all kinds of things. A sense of loss that you kind of, man, I spent all this time, and now I'm realizing, was that even a waste of time? All of those emotions that you go through, you know what I'm saying? When you find out you've been lied to. And so, yeah, we experienced quite a bit, but it has not stopped us. And for many of you, it has not stopped you either. And for that, I say, hats off to you, for that. Our number one goal, again, is the pursuit of truth. We want truth. That's it. We just want truth. We want the absolute truth as close to it as possible that we can get to. And if it means that you're going to lose some friends and lose people you thought were with you and all that, and so be it. But we want the truth regardless. And so here on this platform, we're going to continue to ask questions. And one thing about truth, again, it's not always, you think truth is, particularly us black folks, we think of truth as something that we shout at, like in church, like, when the preacher gets up there and he starts going on and talking about, he's giving some truth or he's telling the truth about something. We think the truth is always something to shout at. Let me tell you something. It ain't that all the time. The truth a lot of times will make you angry. The truth a lot of times will cut friends. The truth a lot of times is very offensive. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the truth doesn't come with a like button. Oh my goodness. Put that on the shirt. Put that on the shirt. The truth doesn't always come with a like button. Most of the time it doesn't. Because when you click on like, that means you're accepting everything that comes with the truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? It ain't convenient. The truth ain't convenient. It's never convenient. It's rarely convenient. When you're committed to absolute truth, a lot of times it's not convenient. It's going to require something of you if you really are about the pursuit of truth. It's going to require something. Do you understand what I'm saying? It ain't nothing you're going to shout at. It ain't nothing you're going to be falling out and foaming at the mouth and kicking over chairs and all that. No. And a lot of times, no, the truth ain't like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? But inside of you, there's an assurance that you get, even with all of that, yes, it's like something inside. It's like everything inside of you, you feel like it's finally starting to line up. And it is like a freedom that you have. It's almost like you feel like you're unplugged. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like you're just unplugged. It's like you look around at the world and it's like, it's like, how you've seen people do the film where, like, when it's type of video that they do where they're just sitting there, and then the whole rest of the world is just flying and going all over the place, and you just sitting there just kind of looking around. That's what it feels like, at least to me. That's what it feels like. I'm seeing all this craziness on social media and all this other stuff, and now I'm like, wow, I was part of that. Yeah, that's what it feels like. And so you're going to experience more and more of that. You're going to feel out of place when you're committed to the truth. You are. You're going to feel out of place. And a lot of times you're going to feel out of place with your own family. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of times, not all the time. Now, a lot of times we take it to the extreme and we automatically cancel out family members, all of our family members. Let me tell you something. Don't do that. In other words, you share with them what you know, you hope for the best, but that's it. But you always leave a door open for them to, hopefully they listen and make right choices and decisions or whatever. But never, ever, ever join anything that almost requires you to separate yourself from your family. Don't ever do that. You understand what I'm saying? You should always have a love for your family, but love them enough to tell them the truth. You know what I mean? About whatever it is. If we're talking about health, making better choices for health. I ain't talking about the Bible. I'm talking about, making right choices, right decisions and all of that. Right. And just be that truth teller in your household. You understand what I'm saying? And for some people, they just ain't going to be with that. You understand what I'm saying? But you just keep right on trucking, because eventually those people will come around. Some people will come around. Some people will never come around. I think that's the other thing too that's been very heartbreaking, I guess, for me this year, is realizing that there's some people, there's really nothing more that can be done. They're just going to live. They're just going to have to roll on. You know what I mean? And that's it. And I hope they get it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so, but for many people following this platform, who, like I said, again, this platform was in fact something, part of our foundation was the Bible, for sure. And once we took the Bible in of itself and began to question the things that are in it, that shook up a lot of people. And clearly, like I said, we didn't do it for likes or just to be odd or different or anything like that. We did it because, again, we're in pursuit of truth, and we're going to question all of this stuff, everything that's been told to us. We're going to question everything. We're not going to assume that, again, once we realize, I think the thing that really stuck out to me, and I used to hear people saying this for years, they're like, man, this is something that was given to you by your oppressors. Do you really think that your oppressors that whooped the what out of you are going to take great care and pride of your history and say, now listen, Toby, I done whipped your behind. I done tore your behind up. I done raped all your women. I done did all this stuff for you. I done impregnated your mom, impregnated your sisters, and did all this other stuff. But I made sure I kept your history intact. Make sure you read it now. Now, when you open it up, wait till you get to certain parts of it, because certain parts is going to give you special instructions in how to defeat us. It's going to give you special instructions. So here you go. And we actually believe that. I was like, how is that even possible? That doesn't make sense in any multiverse. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. But many of our people still believe that, and they still hold on to that. So it's okay to question things. But the other thing is this, and this is the last thing I'll say too for now on that, is this: none of that is wasted. So be it you were in this for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever it may be, it is never wasted time. It's learning time. And I choose to look back at those things, at those experiences, as a time for me to learn from the things I didn't get right. You know what I'm saying? Eat some humble pie a little bit and don't put the whipped cream on it. Just eat it as is. And, and just make course corrections, and you keep it right on moving. That's it. You know what I mean? And you just got to be honest and true with yourself. That's what it is. And so yeah, so for sure, it's been, this year has revealed quite a bit on that front. And then, going back even further than that, thinking about, our mission as it pertains to Samba Tree, and really putting in a focus and emphasis on the health of our people, and the wellness of our people. And that has been a joy really to do that, because family, again, for those of you who are brand new, you think I might be, y'all got to buy. I got things I got to pay. It's no. What drives us is a testimony that we're going to share with you tomorrow. And by the way, tomorrow, and I'll get into that, but it's a testimony, a really wonderful, awesome testimony. I can't wait. Nicole, I'll give her the honors to share it, of someone who got another report. It's awesome. So we're looking forward to that. And we're looking forward to hearing from many of you as well. But that's really been our driver, is really doing our best to help our people and to educate our people in the area of health and wellness and all of that. And we're going to be doing a lot more of that as well, as we progress and all of that. So I'm very excited about that, so tomorrow, I'm very excited about tomorrow, because tomorrow, January the 1st, it's going to be a full day. It's going to, sometime during the early part of the day here on YouTube, we're going to have, I'll be rebroadcasting some of the older, Samba Tree lives that we did. And I'll try to do that. I got to go through some of the video, because some of the content that we shared on those lives, as long as they were on YouTube, it's straight. But if it's on BondTube, I ain't going to be able to share that. The BondTube stuff, is stuff that YouTube don't want us to talk about. They don't want us to mention it. You know what I'm talking about? That, the jab, right? And so those things we're not going to be able to talk about. We ain't going to be able to go through all that. But there's other things that we will be able to share and all that. And I'll see if I can put that together and maybe just do an hour or two of just a rebroadcast of some of those. So that would be on YouTube. And then after that, starting like mid-afternoon, we will have our movie marathon. It will be, I think, at least 2 movies that we're going to be streaming live over on mybondtube.com. No, I'm not going to tell you what movies, because I know someone's getting ready to ask. But you understand, we got to fly down on the low on the radar here. I can't say it. You understand, because I ain't trying to have certain people coming after me. You know what I'm saying? So I can't tell you. But trust me, it ain't Thief in the Night, Distant Thunder. It ain't the Rapture movies. Okay, it ain't gonna be those. Okay, but there'll just be some movies I picked. Okay, and we'll be streaming those live over on mybondtube.com. All right. So we'll be doing that starting mid-afternoon Eastern Standard Time tomorrow over on there. And I'll put a reminder on the community page and all that. And you can, come in and swing through. You may say, well, I already saw the movie. Okay, fine. But, we're just going to have it streaming over there. So, yeah, so that will be tomorrow. All right. About mid-afternoon, we'll do that. Then as we're moving towards the evening hours, and I forgot the exact time, but we already have it out there. We'll be doing our Samba Tree live. Now that I am very much looking forward to, because I ain't gonna be sitting up in here. My beautiful wife and I, we're going to be in the kitchen. In fact, tonight, my stuff I got set up here, as soon as I'm finished with y'all, I'm gonna start moving my stuff into the kitchen, set my cameras up, setting the lighting up and all that other stuff. We're gonna be doing some filming tonight on some certain things that we'll be able to share with you tomorrow. And we're going to be cooking some things and all of that. I had to really think about what music we can play without getting in trouble. But I think I found some pretty good music that we can play. So we'll have some music playing. We're going to be cooking and all of that. We're going to keep you up all night. And the part that I'm looking forward to is this. What we would like to do is definitely hear from you. Okay, that's right. We want to hear from you. So tomorrow will be a very good time. We will, at the appointed time, we'll put our phone number on the screen, and you will be invited to call in and just whatever. It's just going to be open line. We would like to hear, especially from people who have, you've been helped by Samba Tree. But it's not just Samba Tree when we open it up. If you just want to call in or whatever, that's go on and call in. It's going to be open line, and we'll have a set time where we'll do that. And so if you been one of those that just been watching us for a long time and you just like, I don't know, this will be your time to call in, and we'll get to hear you and hear your voice and touch bases with you and keep it moving. So that will be tomorrow as well. I mentioned the cooking part. What else I say? Having people call in. We're going to have movies. Knowing my wife, she'll probably be giving away something. I don't know. We're also putting together, I asked my wife to put together, the first of the year is typically when people, look to the detoxifying, right? So we're going to have like some kind of package together. We'll put that together. If you're looking to do a cleanse or something like that, we're going to have a special little thing that we'll put together, it'll make it easy for people. If you're looking to cleanse your body or whatever, first of the year, we'll have something for you, be easy for you to order or whatever. And that's it. But I'm really looking forward, just fun, just being a fun time, we'll be cutting the rug a little bit, laughing, get to hear from y'all and all of that. And oh yes, we will be, I believe, the only channel. I'm believing. I believe it. I believe it that we are going to be the only channel that's going to have a black eye pea cam. Yes, indeed. We're going to have a black eye pea cam. I'm going to have a camera dedicated to the pot. Yes. Because New Year's Day that's just a tradition I chose to continue in our household, is to have some black eyed peas and some rice and cornbread. If you just give me that, I'm happy. That's it. So, my wife, I already smelled the pot. She got the smoked turkey leg in there. I had to lift it up a little bit. I was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we're going to have a black eye pea cam. And I'm going to see if I can have it like in the corner of the window, so you can real time, you can be able to view the black eyed peas as they're cooking. All right. By that time, it'll be almost done. It'll be pretty much done. We'll let you take a peek. And then, Nicole, she'll share how she seasoned hers and all of that. And we'll do that. And then also we'll have our blender out. We're going to be making some drinks. Showing you what we put in the drinks and all of that, healthy drinks. And I'm going to be making something for the children as well, and for the adults too, because I got to start it. That's one of the things I'm going to be doing tonight, is preparation for that. So even for the children, if you got small children, let them come on in and sit down and see some adults cut it up a little bit and have some fun. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about. We ain't sitting up here talking about how bad black women are and these black women need to do something, these black men and all this stuff. Can't we just take a break from all? Some things need to stay in 2023. You know what I'm saying? Some things need to stay. I told my daughter just recently, I said I had to cleanse my Twitter feed again because it was getting too depressing. I said, my goodness, people just fighting all over the place. And so, I had to do another cleanse. You talking about a body cleanse? No, some of y'all need to do a social media cleanse. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we need to do a social media cleanse and cleanse out all this craziness. Because a lot of these people are running their mouths and ain't doing nothing. They commenting on people's marriages. They comment how people look. And if they looked in the mirror, I'm sorry, they ain't nowhere near the standard. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Got some ugly people out here talking about, she need to do this and that. Why are you talking? How they look? Well, I think, see, their marriage is this, and they need to. Why? Okay, are you married? Well, no. Well, then shut up. Shut up. 2 words for you: shut and then up. Okay, or down, whatever. Shut up, shut down. I don't care. Just close your mouth. Close your mouth, because you ain't got nothing to add to me. You know what I'm saying? So we don't. So that's a free bitter that we have at Samba Tree. A social media cleanse. I think I'm gonna do a label for that. I'm gonna have a bottle, and it's gonna be called Social Media Cleanse, and then you can click on it. That'll be a free one. So if you don't like the bitterness of black seed oil, well, that's okay. We'll do one. We'll call a Social Media Cleanse, and that will be a free one. Okay, free shipping and all. But anyway, so we'll be doing that and looking forward to that. And the Samba Tree sale, one more day, and it's a wrap. Up to 50% off. Up to 50% off. I don't think we've ever done that. I don't think we've ever done that. Up to 50% off. And we are so motivated, as far as, really presenting to our people some high quality products. And I'm telling you, we've been getting emails from many of you. I just really want to say, and we're going to take some time tomorrow and really, express how thankful we are, to our customers who, when I tell you, typically many times we hear the bad stories of, black folks, can't do business with other black people and all this stuff. But I'm going to tell you, in the many years that, as a entrepreneur, this, I would say, is probably one of the first businesses that I've had where focused on targeting black folks that I've had the least amount of problems. I'm serious when it comes to dealing with customers. I've had the least amount of problems. It's been really something. You get some every now and then, that's whatever. And, especially during this holiday season, it's been, shipping has been kind of, we're almost there. We're getting pretty much everything out. But, there's been little hiccups because, when your suppliers, sometimes they'll run out of stuff, and then you gotta work with them. And then you got to go back to the customer and say, hey, listen, we ain't forget about you. We're still getting it out. It just, there's a hiccup here. And then UPS, they forgot to pick this up, and then they forgot to drop this off and all of that stuff. And, so we've been running to that. And so we have been so grateful and very appreciative of the customer base that we have. And that really motivates us to dig even deeper and to find, suppliers that are, when we're talking to these suppliers, making sure that we're getting the absolute best deal, but at the same time, making sure that we're providing the best price that we can, where it's not like $100 for a little tiny bottle of something. You know what I'm saying? Some people, some of our people, they be overcharging. There's one product that we sell that comes from it's a black supplier, and we actually sell it cheaper than they do. Now you figure that one out. I'm not playing. I am not playing. Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. We are very, very serious about making sure that our people get the best price, the best products, and we try to keep this stuff as clean as possible. And I'm going to tell you, we work pretty hard, to say the least. Very, very hard to find this stuff and to connect with good people that are willing to, to give us, access to the things we need to get access to, so that we can pass that on to you. And like I said, again, so one of the things we're working on right now as we speak is that we're going to actually be moving to a different platform. Like, the hosting platform that we're on with Samba Tree right now, we want to get to a much better website. So we actually are working on that right now as we speak. So very, very soon, we're going to be on a whole new platform. One of the things we want to have is a rewards program, where, as you buy, and you're buying here on a platform, you're accruing points. and those points can be used towards future purchases. So that's something that we're going to be building in this next upgrade of the page. So we'll have that as well. So a lot of exciting things, that we're looking forward to and incorporating with, Samba, Samba tree. So as you know, right now, so the last couple of months, what month? I think it was a month. Now we changed the, our YouTube page started off as Issachar, then it went to Journeyman and Woman, and now it's Samba Journeys. Okay, so Samba Journeys is pretty much what we've been doing, but we're kind of tuning down a little bit some of the things that we used to spend time on, and we're putting more and more of an emphasis on health and wellness. So you're going to be seeing that. You're already seeing that amping up, more and more and more, and it's going to continue to happen. We'll get into some history and we'll talk about the news and things like that. That we'll still do that. But really, we want to invest our time in things that are tangible and is going to give tangible results. People running their mouth on social media is a dime a dozen. I don't want to be just one of them. We don't want to be just one of them that's doing that. Anybody can do that. Anybody can push that live button and spend hours of your time talking about whatever, giving their take on stuff. But we want to do more than that. We want to be effective in what the opportunities that we have right now to, so when we're talking about certain things or, delving into different topics, it's something that's transformative in your own life. And it's something that you can actually measure. So that's why we really, really, really are looking forward to tomorrow, because we really want to hear from many of you, when it comes to, what things have changed in your life for the good in this past year. You know what I mean? And because we could talk about the negative and all that stuff. If you want to spend time on that, that's up to you. You know what I mean? But we want to look forward. We want to look ahead. You understand what I'm saying? We want to be hopeful, and it's time for us to restore hope to our people. You understand what I'm saying? It's time for that. I'm tired of going into the new year and you all scared and you're like, Lord Jesus, I don't know what's going to happen. I heard they getting ready to go to war. They getting ready to drop the bomb, y'all. Oh, Lord. Oh, Peter, don't be afraid. Whoa. Anyway, no. Anyway, don't get me started. No, we don't want to do that. Okay. We want to look forward and we want to be hopeful. Another thing that we're going to, what we're doing right now, I'm going to tell you what I've been doing is, now my parents, I love my parents very much, and they have done everything that they could possibly do to raise me right on what they knew. And I am eternally grateful for them. Every now and then my mom will be like, I wish we had done more. I wish we did this. I'm like, Mom, you did everything you can do. I don't have no regrets of my childhood at all. None at all. I don't. When I look at us as a people collectively, one of the areas that we are anemic in is in the area of finances and in financial literacy. And so there's, we've learned as a people how to cobble things together and to survive. But, I said, you know what? I'm tired of just surviving. I want to thrive. And I don't want to spend all of I'm sorry. You caught that drummer praise, didn't you? He caught that song. I was going to see who knew the title, who sung that song. Anyway, he got it. You get a free, I don't know, soursop drink. Anyway, I'm tired of our people not thriving. You know what I'm saying? And no, the strategy shouldn't be that we're going to keep on tweeting until the government sees our tweets and they're going to hand us out a big check. We got to stop thinking that way. There are many things at our disposal right now that we have access to now that if we use it right and learn how to use it, we can be a lot further along financially than we've been, ever been in our lives. For real. You don't understand what I'm saying? So I shared, about a few months back how I've been able to finally get my credit right. You know what I mean? And I'm just the other day, they said it went up again. I was like, okay, come on now. And I'm learning, I'm watching these other people on YouTube, and I'm learning some things, just practical things that I should have been doing years ago and didn't do it. And I'm starting to listen to people, and I'm learning how to correct things and to challenge stuff and all of that stuff. No, that ain't the final word. No, y'all gonna fix this. That's wrong. No, this, that, or whatever. And I'm slowly starting to see the results in that. So over time, the little things like we've always been doing on this platform, the little things that we learn here and there, we're going to share those things with you. And no, it's not going to be, well, we got a financial literacy course that we're going to teach, and if you want access to it, you got to go to our our Patreon, and ain't nobody doing that, because I ain't no expert. I'll be the first to tell you. What I will tell you is this is what I learned, and I don't know all of this, but I've been listening to this person and that person, and hey, you may want to check them out. You know what I'm saying? And so we'll be dropping little things here and there, just to help our people just to get tight in that area, of financial literacy and getting our stuff together so that we can be in a much better position as families, as individuals, and all that stuff. And it's exciting. My wife and I was talking the other day. It's like, man, we're getting a strategy together, and so it's very, very exciting. And there's a lot of positive. There's a lot of good things. There's a lot of great things going on in the world, family. I'll be also uploading more and more of those videos of positive things, like you saw the one with Judge Lynn, that I uploaded. I saw that story, was just so moved by it. Just in her transparency and honesty and all that, just about her marriage and the lessons that she learned. And then yesterday I uploaded a video of a young black man who went to an older black man and said, hey, would you adopt me, and all of that. And then he was trying to get through because he was crying so much, and just enjoy, that he was able to found a black man at that was loved him so much to invest time in him, and he was so appreciative of that. So I'm going to be on a hunt for things like that, and we'll be uploading more and more content like that as well, as we're in 2024. And just to mix it up a little bit, but also to put a little light and hopefulness on your timeline. So we'll be doing that as well. So we're going to be looking into that. Let's see what else. So tomorrow again, so you still, Samba Tree, last day of the sale, last day of the promo, 50% off. This is the highest I think we've ever gone. I don't know too many places that will do that, but we do, up to 50%. And so you can go to the page, sambatree.com, and then, like I said, after that, it's a wrap. So make sure you get what you need to get now, because after that, the price is going to go back to normal. There'll be other promos down there, but not 50%. There ain't going to be no 50% for a long time. So I'm just letting you know, this is the last call. Ding, 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 ding. This is the last call. So you got tonight, and then you got tomorrow. Once the broadcast is over tomorrow, it's done. It's over with. Okay. So again, one more time, the website is sambatree.com. All right. So let's move on to, we're going to get into this video I wanted to share with y'all. I'm going to drop this for you real quick, and then I'll get to the video. One other thing I would say that I observed this year, and this is quite sobering, at least to me it was, is that I believe that this is the first generation where the elders, if you will, amongst our people are passing down information to the younger that they found on the internet. I want you to think about that for a second. When you traditionally look at different cultures, the elders, be it your grandparents, your great grandparents, whatever, Many times when they're passing down information, it's their little stories, how they grew up, what they went through, lessons that they learned, that kind of thing, right? Habits, sayings, the passing down of recipes and all, just all kinds of stuff, right? But this generation, I would say, is probably the first generation where the elders, if you will, amongst us, the information that many of them are passing down, unfortunately, is becoming more and more internet based. And what I mean by that, when I think about, people my age, maybe a little bit older, that are in these different religious sects, be it Hebrew, be it, the Moors, be it in whatever, a lot of this information, and now you got this rising tide of now everybody's a Native American, a lot of that information that these people are acquiring isn't from the families. It wasn't stuff that was passed down from one generation to another. A lot of that information was passed down by way of the internet. They came across somebody on the internet that was sharing this information and resonated with you. The person that was sharing that information was giving just enough information where it, you were like, you know what? They're talking about me. That's right. And so what's happened is you take all of that information and you're regurgitating it to the younger people, and they're just taking it off and running with it. Meanwhile, there's a lot of great information that's not legitimate information that's coming from, our family tree that's not being passed down. I'm seeing way too many young people today who do not have an appreciation for, I'm talking about our culture. I'm talking about, Black folks, people who, especially for those of us, particularly those of us that came, our lineage goes through the transatlantic slave trade. And there's a lot of that is not being passed down. And if it is being passed down, now it's being reframed as something that is separate to, it is to a degree. There's each group throughout the diaspora have their own cultures or subcultures or whatever you want to call it that we developed. Like here in Americas, we developed our own culture in Americas. Like here in North America, we developed a unique culture. In the South America and those different countries, different cultures, different cultural practices, but there's something that ties all of these cultures together. And what I'm seeing is that tie that brings us all together, it's being destroyed really. And it's being destroyed by a lot of just, I would say, self-hatred, because now you're seeing people attacking one another, calling each other names and all this other stuff. And so my encouragement to you is that as we're going into this new year, particularly if you're my age or even older, make it a point to kind of document what it was like for you growing up and the stories that you heard and you learned and all of that stuff. I'm talking about things that was just passed down, not just the internet. Okay. Because the internet, it's been helpful to a degree, but you don't want the internet to replace the elders that are in amongst our people. You understand what I'm saying? There are plenty of stories that I can point back to, my grandparents, my parents, or whatever that was passed down. And I do my best to cobble those things together and pass it down to our children. I don't need the internet for that. You understand what I'm saying? I don't need to find photos and repurpose them or see, they got dark skin. So that means that was your relative. And it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. So anyway, I'm sure that'll be an ongoing discussion, man. They're going forward out there, man. So anyway, let's see, what else was I going to say? Okay. So with that being said, I want to share with you this video. It's from the channel One Mic History. And, big shout out to this individual. I've seen the stuff that he's put out, and, I don't watch his video. I'm not even subscribed, I think. Am I? No, I'm not. But, he, the stuff I have seen, he does pretty good work. And, I want you to check out this video, because what it does, he provides a little history. The title of the video is The History of the Black New Year. All right. and why, and he's pointing out the history of how do we fit into this whole New Year thing. We know he's going to talk about, he's going to go way back, how this whole New Year calendar and all that other stuff is about. And we're going to watch this. Like I said, it's a very short video. And then at the end, we'll just wrap up and that's it. We ain't going, like I said again, I don't want to keep you too long tonight. So here we go right here. Here's the video, and we're going to watch it together, okay?
However, its tradition was...
Let me go back.
New Year's Day is widely recognized as the first day of the new calendar. However, its tradition was not always standard, and the history of New Year's Day is an intriguing blend of customs, beliefs, and practices across different cultures. But for African Americans, our celebration of New Year's Day is linked to the little-known Watch Night and Heartbreak Day. So let's talk about it. And if you like stories like this, you can find more stories like this at OneMicHistory.com. Support the channel, my Patreon page, my Buy Me Coffee in the description below. Give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, and please support the YouTube channel. But without further ado, let's get started. The earliest recorded celebration of New Year's Day dates back to 4,000 years to ancient Babylonians. Unlike the current calendar system, which begins the new year in January, Babylonians celebrated in mid-March on the new moon after the spring equinox, which is the day which has the equal amount of sunlight and darkness. This event was a massive religious festival called a Kinu. It spanned 11 days, during which different rituals and ceremonies were conducted. In 46 BC, Julius Caesar introduced a solar-based calendar known as the Julian calendar, and it replaced the flawed Roman lunar calendar that had been used since the 7th century BC.
Getting all your daily nutrients is hard work, but nutrition gaps in your diet are inevitable.
This new calendar introduced the concept of a leap year, and Caesar declared that January 1st was the first day of the year to honor Janus, which was the Roman god of beginnings and tradition, and was portrayed with 2 faces facing in opposite directions. While January 1st is accepted as New Year's Day in Rome, many cultures continue to celebrate New Year's Day on different dates that were significant in their own calendar. Usually this involved agrarian or astronomical events. For example, during the Middle Ages, in Western Europe, New Year's Day was celebrated on March 25th, which was the Feast of Annunciation as the beginning of their year. Gradually, Western countries would move back to January 1st. This shift largely occurred due to the Gregorian calendar's adoption, named after Pope Gregory XIII. Introduced this calendar in 1582. The Gregorian calendar aimed to bring about a shift in Christian celebration of Easter closer to the time of year it was observed when the early church was founded. Today, New Year's Day signifies a fresh start and a chance to make changes for the upcoming year. Celebrations differ across cultures, but the common themes are societal gatherings, fireworks, singing, music, parades, and shared meals, as well as a hope for a prosperous and peaceful forthcoming year. However, once again, we have another holiday, which is a double-edged sword for African Americans. Before the Civil War, the first day of the year was often referred to as Hiring Day or Heartbreak Day. These names came about because of the heartbreak of the situation of enslaved people that used to face on the first day of the year. Enslaved individuals were forced to wait and sit in suspense to find out whether or not they were going to be rented out to another family, household, or separated from their own families. This practice of renting them out was alternative to selling a slave and a beneficial way for their white enslavers and hirers to make money. The idea of hiring out an enslaved person was not uncommon in the South. Historian Alexis McCrossan would explain that Hiring Day was a large economic system. Most of these payments and debts were taken care of on New Year's Day. This activity did take place all year long, but it was especially concentrated to New Year's Day. On this day, contracts between buyers and sellers, as well as between enslaved and their owners, could start and end. These agreements would often be conducted between friends and family members, businesses, associates, and enslaved people were sometimes exchanged in town squares, courthouse steps, and even on the side of the road. It's important to remember that enslaved people were viewed not as a human being, but as an investment and an asset, and as such, they could be rented, used as collateral, repossessed, and sold. An enslaved person by the name of Lewis Clark would speak about this in 1848, stating that of all the days of the year, the slaves dreaded New Year's Day worst of any. But all of this would change on January 1st, 1863. And this was a pivotal moment in American history, but most notably for African Americans. This was the day that Abraham Lincoln officially enacted the Emancipation Proclamation. In the summer of 1862, after border states had turned down his offer for compensated emancipation, Lincoln had the realization that the key to winning the Civil War and uniting the country again was directly connected to the issue of slavery. And from that point on, Lincoln decided that dealing with slavery was going to be a crucial part of ending the Civil War. So, in September 22nd, 1862, Lincoln announced the preliminary Emancipation Proclamation. The basic idea behind this was that anyone enslaved in states or parts of states which were still rebelling after January 1st, 1863 would be set free. There was a catch, however. If any Confederate state decided to rejoin the Union before January 1st, their slaves would not be freed.
And let me stop there just real quick. See, this is what I'm saying as far as, you know, the Nikki Haley situation where it was like, oh, she tripped up. She said she couldn't answer the question about, you know, is the Civil War, was it about slavery? I would probably trip up on that too. Because if you really believe that this nation, loved black people so much that they were willing to sacrifice their own sons to break you out of slavery, only to immediately, once the war was over, to incorporate Jim Crow, then you are really lost as an individual. Because Lincoln, I don't care how many pencil drawings we've seen and paintings we see of Lincoln, you know, with black slaves and all this other stuff. He did not love your behind, and neither did this United States of America. They never did, and they never will, period. So was it about slavery? To a measure, yes, it was. But slavery was an economic situation. It was about economics, the economics of slavery. It wasn't because they love black people. And that's where quite a few of our people get it twisted. They want people to believe that they were motivated by love to get you out of slavery, and no, they were not. This was an economic situation. But anyway, let me get back.
As the day drew closer, enslaved people and abolitionists gathered together late at night where they held watch night events, often in churches or homes where they were safe. They kept vigil, praying and hoping for the time where the proclamation would become official. Watch night is a tradition that has its roots in Christian communities dating back to the 1740s, particularly between groups like the Methodists. It usually involved people staying awake throughout the night, praying and reflecting as they welcomed the new year. However, for African Americans, watch night had a deeper significance. As they prayed and sang hymns and read from the Bible, they awaited the break of dawn, which symbolized more than just a brand new day. It was a dawn of freedom that they had eagerly been waiting. This was a spiritual and historical turning point rather than just the start of a new year. It was a very important time, filled with hope for almost 4 million enslaved African Americans. As the years passed, Watch Night evolved to be much more than an annual remembrance of the Emancipation Proclamation and became a central event of African Americans' religious and cultural heritage. Black Americans would use their diverse religious affiliations and would congregate in church on New Year's Eve for Watch Night services. And this would commemorate the spiritual gatherings as an opportunity to give thanks, reflect on the past year, and pray for guidance for the upcoming year. Early Watch Night services would include singing hymns such as Freedom's Eve, sharing of personal stories, overcoming difficulties, reading from the Emancipation Proclamation, and praying till midnight as the church bells rang to welcome in the new year. And it brings in a new spirit of determination. And this represents an unwavering faith and strength that's always been an important part of the African American community. Food traditions relating to New Year's Eve in African American community are also closely tied to their history. During the time of slavery, black-eyed peas and collard greens were often the only foods that enslaved people were allowed to grow and cultivate. So these foods became a part of their New Year's Day traditions. The peas would symbolize coins, and their expansion while cooking represented the growth of wealth. Eating these on New Year's Day is believed to usher in financial success for the new year. The tradition of eating black-eyed peas owes a lot of significance to Vicksburg, Mississippi during the Civil War. In 1863, the town ran out of food while it was under attack, and black-eyed peas became a lifesaver, and from that point on, the legume was seen as lucky. On the other hand, collard greens usually symbolize banknotes, hence they were eaten to attract wealth. However, beyond the symbolism, these foods were also nutrient-rich, inexpensive facets of their culinary tradition and ensured sustenance and survival during harsh times. Accompanying these two key items is cornbread, which also adds the aesthetic and symbolism of a prosperous new year ahead. The golden color embodies the vibrance of gold as a universal symbol of wealth. Cornbread's history also points to its resilience and adaptation, as corn was one of the crops that was introduced to enslaved people. Interestingly enough, the culinary traditions of black-eyed peas, greens, and cornbread has spread beyond the African-American community and has been widely accepted across all Southern households. These dishes highlight the dynamic, evolving nature of African-American cuisine being adopted by the broader American culture. From Heartbreak Day to Watch Night till today, the traditional practices of the Black community has widened considerably. The Black community nationwide have adopted more universal traditions alongside their unique cultural practices. For instance, the idea of first footing, which is the first person to enter a household on New Year's Day, is seen as a bringer of good luck for the new year. That dates back to Northern England during the 8th and 9th century. Or making New Year's resolution, which is the universal practice of making a resolution for personal growth and self-improvement. That idea dates back to the earliest celebrations of New Year's Day and the Babylonians. Both of these have significant acceptance within Black communities, and both melded together with African American traditions, making New Year's celebrations a true melting pot of old and new. New Year's Day isn't just about a countdown to midnight or making New Year's resolutions. It's the embodiment of spirit, hope, and determination that's being passed down through generations. Nowadays, these watch night services are a time for praise and to honor one's history, and New Year's Day provides an opportunity to reflect on the past and promote positivity for one's future. Thank you. I'm your host, Country Boy. This has been One Mic Black History.
There you go. So yeah, so again, the channel is One Mic History. Make a note of it, and he definitely does very good work. And the stuff I've seen, and I think he mentioned that he also has a podcast. So do check him out. Real quick here, Black Eyed Peas. Again, we've talked about this. We've done videos on this. The origins of a lot of these foods. Black Eyed Peas. It says it's believed to have been first domesticated near Africa's Lake Chad, in what is now northeastern Nigeria and northern Cameroon. European slavers fed their enslaved black-eyed peas during the Middle Passage. Anyway, so there you go. So black-eyed peas, just like there was other fruits and vegetables there's a whole list of them. Some of them that they don't grow here in the United States, but like in Central and South America, we did a full breakdown of this. There are herbs, there are plants, and different things that were brought over. It wasn't just, there's a lot of times we focus on the Africans that were brought over as slaves, but it wasn't just that. It was also different produce. There were different things that we brought over as well. Now, like he mentioned, corn, I don't know if I would say was something that was introduced to us here, coming from Africa, because you had corn growing even up in Egypt, you know what I mean? So, but things like cornbread, however, yeah, there's probably more something that was birthed here in the States. But all this other stuff, and then I have collard greens as well. Now, collard greens is a little bit different. collard greens, they say, date back to prehistoric times. Well, they say prehistoric again, whose history. You know what I mean? White people know everything, don't they? They even know what happened before history. You ever thought of that? Anyway, they said they are the oldest leafy greens within the cabbage family. Collard greens originated near Greece, but it wasn't until the first Africans arrived in Jamestown, Virginia in the early 1600s that America got its first taste of the delicious dark green vegetables. And so, we really took, it was black folks that really took collard greens and made it into something delicious and something to look forward to. I told you, there's one day I'm gonna make it. One day there's a soul food restaurant that I found out about. It was on YouTube, but it's based in San Diego, and small little place. It's a collard green egg roll, and hear me out on this and how this lady makes it. It's collard greens. Inside the egg roll is collard greens with smoked turkey. The egg roll isn't just an egg roll. She batters it, uses the same batter that you would use with fried chicken, and she just deep fries it. They slice that thing open. My goodness, Greg, I was crying. I felt tears coming out of my eyes. I could taste it. My goodness, that thing looks so good. But anyway, so tomorrow we're going to celebrate that. We're giving honor to our ancestors. We're not praying to our ancestors, but these are hopes and dreams and things that they had, for the coming years for us. Really, they really think, oh, they are going to war out there. So it's really about them, and it's really about continuing traditions that we created. I don't care about no Babylon. I ain't acknowledging Janus, the god with two faces. Okay. Ain't nobody doing that. What I'm acknowledging is what we as a people, what we created, and why this day is really should be considered a very special day for all of us, particularly those of us, like I said, again, that our lineage goes through the transatlantic slave trade. It's something that to be happy about, very appreciative about. It's a time of reflection, and it's a time of moving forward. And we just eating collard greens and black eyed peas and rice, but not realizing that we were actually speaking to ourselves financial prosperity just through that. Even the food had a representation on, that, hey, we're speaking financial prosperity to us, and this food represents that. Isn't that something? But we've turned it into, does it come with the collard greens? Does it come with mac and cheese or what? No, we see how we just don't lower that down to that. But even then, when we didn't have anything, what we did have is the ability to speak life into future generations. And we didn't have access to a Roth IRA and, the banks and all that stuff, but we had access to black eyed peas, rice, and collard greens and stuff like that. And we said, you know what, son, daughter, this represents what I see in you going forward. Now, I may have the stripes on my back, but but let this be a representation. Let this be a prayer that in your generation, you're going to go a lot further than what we were able to do, in terms of financial literacy, financial prosperity, and all that stuff. And when I say financial prosperity, I ain't talking about everybody got a Benz or a Lexus and all that other stuff. I'm talking about being in a position where you can do the things that, many of you have dreams and aspirations. There are things that you were put on this earth to do, but you have not been able to do it. A lot of times because you don't have this. And that's what we're committed to as well, is we want to see our people win. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? Listen, I don't know y'all names on here. I don't know, but I'm going to go through this list here. Willie, I got RJ, I calculated crescendo, Big Up, and y'all, I don't know if they're still on there. Darlene, Leroy, Team Truth. I'm just going through here. Mac Men 007. Who else I got on here? I'm just going through here right quick. Let's see who else I got on here. Moon Glow 444, Blue. I'm just going through Drummer Praise, Golden Heart, Micaiah, anybody, Sunshine and Rain, all of y'all. We want to see you become what you have been created to do on the earth. That's what we want to see. And that's what we want to use this platform for, is a point of encouragement for you to get your stuff together so that you can be a blessing, not only just in your household, but a blessing to your community and to the rest of us, because we definitely need it out here. We need some encouragement out here. We need to see some positivity out here, don't we? So that's what we're committed to on this platform. And so, yeah, we're going to start off the year right. And we're going to start it off. It's going to be fun. We're going to try to make it fun. We're going to make it exciting. It's just going to be an extension of what we have in our own home right here. And so we're looking forward for you to join us tomorrow evening, or tomorrow, I should say. And I will post something early tomorrow on the community page, you know, giving you a schedule of everything. But I'll go through it. I'll give it to you roughly one more time. Sometime early tomorrow, I may have some videos that I will restream of some old Samba Tree lives that we've done. And, you know, about an hour and a half, you know, I'll take a look at them and see, and I'll just kind of edit something up real quick and then stream it live tomorrow earlier in the day. And then in the afternoon, what we'll do is you jump over to mybondtube.com, and then we're going to have back-to-back 2 movies. I ain't telling you, but we're going to stream some movies. So afternoon into the evening a little bit, we'll have 2 movies we're going to stream. You're more than welcome to join us over there as those movies are streaming. And then once that is over, we're going to head back over here on YouTube, and that's where we're going to be in the kitchen. And that's where and then we're going to have some fun. It's going to be a time for you to call in and just, you know, want to hear you as we in there with the pots and cooking and with the blender and all that kind of stuff. Okay. It'll be fun for the whole family, and looking forward for y'all to join us. So thank you again for joining us for this broadcast. Love you guys so much. Hey, you guys take care. And yes, it is going to be a happy new year. All right. Love you guys. Take care. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Ha. Yeah. 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 Come on. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm about to rap here for a second. Here it goes.